I'm not
Hey, hi,
winning.
hello,
She's
vendor
going.
besties.
Hey, hi, hello.
Back black.
Blinkies.
We gotta reach across. That's the rule. Everybody has to clink. Oh, and it clinks.
Season 2, episode 9.
Episode
9.
Yes.
Busting through these, my guys.
We got the
9.
German coming out.
I have a shirt. I'll wear that one sometime.
9.
Welcome back to Diana from the Victorian Belle. She's always a wonderful source of wealth and wisdom. A wealth of wisdom. Can you give us your wealth? Do you
I
have wealth?
don't have lots.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
sorry.
I tried.
I could use
Have
more
you seen my
sources
car?
of wealth in my life.
Have you seen my car? Anyway, so what are we talking about today, Sorcha?
We're talking about social media, which is where you're probably finding us right now. You
Usually.
probably should go flip your laundry because you've been scrolling for way too long.
But first, like and subscribe and all that.
Share.
Follow.
And then
share,
drink some water.
Reshare.
Touch some grass, but come back because we have a lot of cool things to talk about. in
Or
this
take your
episode.
phone outside and touch the grass and like
still
keep
watch.
watching.
Put your phone in the grass and
Sure.
Yeah.
So we're at that point in the day when
It's a
everyone
iPad.
needs caffeine. We're
Does it
talking
right
about
now.
social media, and we want to talk a little bit about marketing and the challenges of being a creative and a business owner, and also having to be a content creator. Or do you?
Yeah.
Right?
So, Sorcha has a wonderfully large, impressive social media following.
That big.
It's way bigger than any of ours.
So
She's over 10K, over 11 now?
I'm working towards 12.
She's on her way to 12K, which is
Damn.
amazing. And that's not views, that's
That's not-
followers.
Over 100,000
I
followers.
think
Or
the rest of us,
viewership, though.
On average, I probably get between 100 and 150,000 impressions a month. I think most viral content I've made has gotten 750,000 impressions.
So,
it's amazing.
So definitely, I have a little bit of a leg up from the rest of the folks on this podcast, though, because the product that I create lends itself really well to
A lot more simply.
yeah,
Yeah.
making videos. I mean, cake decorating videos and informational stuff when I'm like typing on a cake. Like, that's just easier
goes.
content to make than trying to advertise a whole venue.
Well, and it's from a user, from a scrolling user mindless bot on the internet. I would watch that over any of our stuff.
well, and have
Like,
you seen her
It's
shit?
no, it's
gorgeous.
an immediate hook.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm also really good at like making cakes. Medium
Yeah,
okay
yes.
at making content. I think that one of the things
Cool.
Not to toot your own horn either, but without any of your own work either, your cakes have managed to land themselves on Pinterest and land
That's true.
themselves elite status.
I don't
So
use
that's insanity.
Pinterest, and my work is all over Pinterest. People find me with my own work,
On
or I'll like they'll find me, they'll wind up in my inbox and be like, "Oh, that's a beautiful reference. That's mine. Where'd you get that?"
Yeah, and they found her on Pinterest. That's amazing.
I don't know who's putting my work on Pinterest.
Everyone.
So
it's great.
when it comes to social media marketing, I think that there's this general level of like exhaustion and like ugh that most creators feel and most small business owners feel when it's like, I have to do this. And that's sort of balanced against the like, wow, look at all this free marketing and access to so many people, and I want to tap into that, but it feels like a burden.
It's absolutely a burden. I spent a little time at a previous job where I ended up being the social media manager for all of their businesses that had social media. And at the time that I said, I don't want to do this anymore, it was for 14 businesses. And some of them had Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and they wanted stuff generated for all of those things. And
This was before AI.
yeah,
That's so many.
it was a lot, and it was kind of
This is why
overwhelming.
people
And
like AI.
I regret parts of it, but the parts I don't regret is that I developed a lot of systems for myself to be able to quickly generate a variety of content when I have enough creative brain. And now, when I need to, like in the height of Belle and Vow's stuff, when I'm generating graphics for you to
God.
schedule, like this is very much a team effort.
Thank God, because I would be dead.
But I look at it I just put my brain back in that same mode of when I was a social media manager, and I'm like, here's all the ways that I can disseminate this information in a variety of images to keep it looking fresh and cohesive, okay, I can just fill the blanks. Like I can just generate from a formula. So being able to turn that switch back on was really, really useful. And that's something that anytime anybody wants to learn social media stuff, I talk to
Absolutely.
me. I can teach you some stuff. It's going to take a minute, and it may be a level of things that you don't want to implement, and you can do that, but I can teach you a lot.
You're going to hate it at first, but as I implement things that you told me 2 years ago, I actually feel like the progress. My biggest thing is I make videos for people. That's my whole thing. And then I have no social media, well, not no social media presence, but it's minimal. You look at the Portland music industry and you look at the Portland wedding industry, you will see my work. Will you see it on my page? Will you see how, like, the BTS and how I got there? Not necessarily, because it's the last thing I think about. I think about it for all my clients, but for myself,
hire yourself
at the end of the day, I'm like, I sent the invoice out, I did the product, and I'm done. And then I'm like, wait, now I have to do for more.
Do another product.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, so I do all the scheduling for the podcast. So I do the TikTok and the YouTube for this project. And then I do the scheduling and everything, all the social media for Veil and Vows, of course. And then I have mine for Beyond the Veil. So that's
a lot.
That's a lot.
Anytime it's more than one, it's a pain. And people, when they say, how many Instagram accounts do you have? And I think I have like 7. And they're like, what on earth? Are you nuts? And it's only because I used to be running 14, like on 2 phones.
It only is because I used to be running
No,
14.
but I'm serious. Like, if it wasn't something I didn't already have experience doing, it would be stupid and astronomically impossible. But because I already did it, it's half as much work as it was at the time, and so it's not a big deal. And you can absolutely tell when I have time, because the poor little venues profile gets attention like in the winter and then goes almost dead during the summer, right? So it's really a matter of where you put your energies, but also figuring out which ones I prioritize and how I want to prioritize them and who's the audience for that. A huge part of social media marketing is understanding who your audience is and what are you trying to accomplish through your social media. Are you trying to inform and educate, or are you trying to sell? Because not every vendor should be necessarily trying to sell through social media. Are you just creating awareness?
The big thing for me is what follow to sale ratio. What view to sale ratio? My ideal is I post something, I get 60 likes, 1,000 views, and maybe 1 follow from that post. I think that's kind of my average. But I don't necessarily see a sale from that.
Right.
And I can't track that follow to a year later, maybe they book something. And so for me, the motivation, to post on social media, the cost benefit analysis, it's like, I can't track, if I had 10K followers versus the 2,000 that I have, how much better my business would be doing. And I can't see I can't see the need to prioritize posting every day and doing all the trends and all that bullshit. But I think that was the first time I swore on the podcast. But I also tying it all together is hard for me, and seeing that big picture. How do you justify posting something and not seeing an immediate return? How do you process that?
The reality is you don't necessarily need any kind of a return. You don't need a platform to generate in real life sales. There are plenty of instances where you have small businesses blow up on social media, get a ton of attention for doing that, and then they see great sales from it. Or you see people who do a really good job with their BTS content. They get popular just because people enjoy their charisma and their personality, and that does improve their business. Those results are quantifiable. But for the vast majority of accounts, you can't necessarily see that. And so the question isn't, why should I bother? It's, what do I want to get out of this?
Yes.
When you're creating content, it doesn't necessarily matter what that follow count number is. What matters is is that content doing the job that you're creating it for?
Right.
So I have my content split into essentially 2 different pages. I have, here's all of my portfolio of work. So my real life clients have an easy way to access everything beautiful that I make, and it acts as proof of concept and proof of purchase. And then I create a lot of content where I'm trying to educate smaller bakers or other makers, and that stream isn't monetized. But the goal eventually is to be able to turn that audience into sales funnels. The goal is to create digital educational products so that I can supplement my primary income. So I have been creating content for the last couple years to become an authority in this sphere to reach a specific audience so that I can monetize it when I get to the point where I'm ready to do that.
Right.
Well, I think
And-
that's what separates your social media direction from a lot of other people. Like everything you post has a direction and it's heading somewhere. Versus like a lot of us are just like, I have to get something out for this and that, and there's this like calculus of how much time I can invest in this thing and what is the return going to be. And for a lot of us, even if a post goes viral, it's not going to necessarily do anything for us because the reach is global.
Yeah.
And our viable market, especially as a
It's
venue,
pretty
is
small.
small, right? So even if I post something and it gets 150,000 views, which has never happened for us, but it, you know, like that's not going to translate to necessarily to sales.
Yeah.
And because of that, like it's like you said, there's always also the cost benefit analysis of, is this the right place to pour my marketing dollars and my marketing energy into in a small businesses? A lot of small wedding businesses have far more time resources than they have money resources, and that's where social media comes in, is because you are using your quote unquote free time
labor.
to produce all of this stuff, whereas like other businesses are like, well, labor isn't free because all of these employees are paid, but we have this other, you know, we have other financial resources. So as a venue, we're using directory sites like The Knot and Wedding Wire and Zola and Offbeat Wed, and you know, we have our profiles posted on a number of different websites, and then we also have social media, but that is not the key of where we dump our marketing dollars into right now, because I don't have time to
Because what's
do
the
it.
return on it?
Right, because the return is better on directory sites for us right now, and we have the financial resources to put that money in there. And so it's just like for small businesses, it's always a question of what do you have more of,
Right,
time
your
or
time.
money?
Right.
And if you are turning away clients so that you can work on your social media, then maybe you should use that money towards a different platform that's doing the work for you. You have to figure out which thing is going to bring you more revenue and more, you know, reward, what more business reward. So if
Right.
you're turning away people so that you can do these other tasks, maybe have other people do those marketing tasks for you so that you can take on the clients. What do you value more?
Well, and considering also that you can utilize paid ad systems
Mm-hmm.
within social media to invest in better reach. There was a video you did for a car detailing company that was quite fresh. This was in the past, and it was an awesome video, but because their page was brand new, it was a brand new video, when they posted it, it didn't really go anywhere. And I remember there was a level of like maybe disappointment on everybody's side because it was such great content. And my thought when we were talking about that was like, great, this should be a paid ad. If you're going to
Right.
invest all this money into a
Yes.
videographer to create something to advertise your business, you probably need to put some spend behind it to keep it relevant.
And a car detailer can benefit from a paid ad because they're looking for mass. They want to stay busy. I'm a videographer. I don't necessarily want 50 clients during the
Right.
summer. I would go crazy, and I wouldn't be able to vet that as well as like face-to-face interaction and more organic channels. So like you're totally right. That should have been a paid ad versus, you know,
You
Just
can
a
also
one-off
target
post.
paid ads, right? Like
Yeah.
you can
Yes.
target the demographics,
Yes.
and that's important.
So something that I see specifically with people that are trying to grow their business through their social media is that the content that they're putting on their page that has 50 followers or 250 followers, the content that they're putting out is content that they are hoping to gain sales from, but they're not marketing to their followers, and they're not generating any content that's going to get them more followers that would then get them actual business.
Yeah, it's
So like you're basically talking to yourself. You're like talking to a wall. If you have 50 followers and they're all your friends and they're not people that are going to buy stuff from you anyway, your social media, if all you're doing is generating content geared towards those people, is absolutely pointless and a waste of time. So if you have a social media following that you're just starting out and it's a very small following and it's all people that know and love you and that's why they're following you, which is a great place to start, fabulous. But if the content that you're generating is facing only those people and you're not generating anything that's likely to get outside attention, then it's kind of pointless to spend any time on it at all. So that's, I think, where, not pointless, it's good practice, but the point of getting things to be noticed by the algorithm and get picked up and seen by non-followers is the continuity. If you're willing to, that's what I see for Vendor Besties. When we consistently post 2 reels a day, that's when we're getting 60,000 views on a 30-day with, at the time, 600 followers, which is,
Good
according
ratio.
to chat, really good reach, I guess.
I have a thought to piggyback off of that, but I want to let Emily go first.
When I went through my sales training, one of the key things that I was taught was when you sell to everyone, you sell to no one.
Yes.
So when you're on social media and you are doing these broadcast posts, trying to sell your services, trying to sell your product to the mass majority, you're not really selling to anyone.
Yeah.
The algorithm won't pick it up. Find a niche. Find where you fit. Find where you want to fit. That's where the algorithm will pick.
Right. If you don't have a particularly bumpin' page and you're posting a flyer for your Valentine's Day pop-up sale, nobody cares.
Yep.
That doesn't mean you should not be using your platform as a way to communicate to your customers or to communicate to your community. But I think it's understanding that the content that you're creating, if it is communicating something specific, this is what I've got going on right now, to the people that are already following you, knowing where to put that and where those actual customers are going to see it and then want to engage with it is different than generating content with the intention of getting as much reach as possible, which I think is what you were just talking about, Marisa, in terms of like understanding that this many reels a day on average leads to you being bracketed in as a creator who's making this much volume, therefore you're going to get this much extra push.
Yeah.
Like
And
volume consistency matters.
When we had those really high numbers, easily over half of the views from that content are non-followers, which is a goal. Like, yes, we are specifically broadcasting to other vendors. Like, we want to be educational to the events industry as a whole. So vendors are our platform, and that is who we're talking to. So if our followers all see it, that's great. We would love to have more followers so that our information is reaching more people. So us having content that reaches non-followers is great for that.
It's important to distinguish too that like we might get 2,000 views or 1,000 views on a post, and yes, that's not a viral 1 million video, but your customer might be in that 1,000. And even if you get 400 views and 20 likes, that might feel like a bust for a post, but that one customer might be in that. And they might see that and it might affirm them enough to then your next post, they see it again and they're one of 300 and then they book.
Yeah, we get DMs from vendors and comments on threads and various places that this particular subject really resonated with me. I'm so glad that I'm not the only person that thinks that way. Thank you for the conversation.
So I have 2 points that I want to make that I think are really important to add to this conversation. The first being that a tremendous amount of the value of being active on social media is in the social
Yes,
networking part of it.
absolutely.
The relationships that you are able to build with people in your industry and the conversations that you're able to have and the knowledge and education that you can share between each other. Is that turning into dollars in your pocket? Indirectly, yes.
Mhm.
the networking opportunities provided by having instant access to your entire community's worth of videographers, bakers, venues, etc., allows you to build relationships. And I think that is an underrated and very important reason to be active on your social media.
Clock it.
Number 2, super, super important. I just wanted to push back on the idea that if you're talking to yourself, it's not worth it. Because I think that while it may not be the most efficient use of your time, the reality is if you're in that stage where you're just starting out as a creator and you want to take a little bit more of your time and put it into the digital sphere, even though it doesn't have returns yet, it takes time to build.
Yes.
You are better off, if that's a direction you want to go because you think that ultimately it will help your business, you are better off starting to climb Cringe Mountain today.
The practice is absolutely worth it.
You have to get over it. You're gonna feel so embarrassed. Do it anyways. Make bad content. Make bad art.
Yeah.
Cringe Mountain
Do it now.
just
make it better
changed
later.
my life. You have no idea.
Charlie.
Charlie, we're climbing Cringe Mountain. We're climbing Cringe
No
Mountain,
idea
Charlie.
what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Charlie the Unicorn.
That still
I
means
like what you
nothing.
said about
OG YouTube days.
community, because it's not just about you only posting things. It's about you interacting with the
Yes.
people around you, and also people interacting with the content creators who mirror what you want to be, who are also like you. Like all of that stuff builds your reach as well.
Yep.
So like it's important if you want somebody to comment on your stuff, like you should comment on other people's
Yep.
things, like their things, repost their things,
Be involved.
be involved.
Yeah.
Social media as a networking thing is absolutely valuable because networking is valuable. The whole platform of this podcast is networking is valuable. And I say that because I do 0 paid ads for my business. I think I've gotten maybe 2 clients ever through Instagram. That they told me that it came through Instagram. And I am fully booked with my planning business every year.
Yeah. So it's
And the business is coming from my network. It is absolutely coming from my network, whether that means client word of mouth or vendor word of mouth.
but those people like I you know if you know I see somebody come up on social media, they're in the forefront of my mind.
Yeah.
I see
Repetition.
Cascadia Kitchen on my mind so much. Next time somebody asks what baker, I'm gonna think of the reel I just saw of Sorcha like making her cake time lapse.
It doesn't always feel like there's a return on investment when it's not working, but when you're able to get your account to break through and start working, it is actually really tremendous how much having an active social media following can improve your business. And also, I think that the key to doing that and not burning out for my fellow like creatives is to see the digital product as an extension of your art.
Yes.
That is the art that you get to keep. You are making a product that you are selling to other people, and the imprints that you make, be they small behind the scenes videos, or for myself, it's my product photography, that is the art that stays with me, that I hold on to. It is part of my process, and thinking about it that way really helps me show up when I feel like no one's watching.
That part. Wow. So can I do the just don't?
Yeah.
Or just don't?
We got 3 minutes. What's your just don't, my friend?
Don't be afraid to climb Cringe Mountain.
That's a good one.
That's
Cringe Mountain, Charlie. Cringe
Cringe
Mountain.
Mountain, Charlie. But that changed my life just now. I've been talking to you about this for a while, and I don't know, this moment, the Cringe Mountain concept was like, I didn't realize I had that in front of me. I just thought like it wasn't effective or this method wasn't working. I
How do
think
you
I just
know?
might be
You
afraid
don't
to
know.
climb Cringe Mountain. I'm coming out and saying it right now.
I had a conversation with Sorcha yesterday or the day before about some content that I'm going to generate through the summer that's easy to generate and how I'm going to change it up. And it is absolutely cringeworthy and boring as heck, but I think that it's going to be effective in the way that I'm planning to use it.
Heck yeah.
So the bottom line is, what is the point of your profile and how do you want it to be effective?
And my just don't think that being too cool to play the game is helping you.
No.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. You can absolutely decide to sidestep content creation, in which case having a solid marketing plan is pretty necessary. You can totally do that. You still have to find customers to give you money. That's your job. How you want to do it, none of my business. But you have to try.
But also, the other thing, too, is I noticed, like, with Veil and Vows marketing, every year when Veil and Vows marketing comes around, all of the rest of my platforms benefit.
Yes.
I see leads coming in, and it's all just because of SEO. It's all interconnected. And all of this, and it's the ROI is impossible to track because I'm like, last year in March, I was like, why am I getting all these leads in March? March is a dead month every year. And then I was like, oh, Veil and Vows marketing is happening. My February lead traffic was way up, and I was like, oh, Veil and Vows marketing. So all of that social media marketing that happens, it works.
And
it affects different avenues than you expect it to.
When I took like a 6-week social media break at the beginning of this year because I needed to detox from it, and I stopped resharing the podcast content and stopped interacting with it, our views tanked. And Marisa had to be like, Sorcha, if you don't get back on Instagram.
She yelled.
Because no, she was nice about it.
I just said, hey, I don't know if you were aware of this connection.
We lift each other up.
Yes.
It's true.
Well, and if you have somebody in your circle that has more than one profile and they follow you and reliably repost all of your stuff, it's a nice dopamine boost, but also you actually get more views.
Yeah, no, the interconnected like web that we weave is crucial.
I've been trying to get ahead, but I keep falling short. Sometimes it's tough getting out of bed when I'm feeling out of sorts. Call it what you will. It's just the art of standing still. I'm just trying to get it right. Call up my besties for a ride. You know the best is yet to come.